So today we have 4 different flavors. Our first flavor is blueberry lemonade, which that's our original. And then we have strawberry basil, which is my personal favorite. Then we have Coco Loco, which is coconut with a little bit of chocolate, which tastes like Almond Joy without the nuts. And then we have chocolate covered strawberry with a little bit of Greek coconut.
Yeah! Oh, they sound so good!
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Berrylicious Orchard.
Well, this is our 4th year in operation. We started off with blackberries, just a few blackberries, and I would sell them like crazy. People would come out and want them, so me and my husband started researching to how to get started with more berries, and he thought there was a big market for blueberries. So we went from blackberries to 3,000 plus bushes of blueberries now.
Wow, you guys go big or go home,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And so your berries out there, they're beautiful. They're in rows. So do you invite people to come out to the farm?
Yes, it's open to you pick and we pick. And we love people to come out here and bring their kids, some people even bring their dogs. And we've had them as young as 2 to 90-plus-year-old women out there picking.
And so when are you guys open? When can people come out and see you guys?
We're open Tuesday through Saturday. I try to open as early as 5 you can be out here 5, 6 o'clock. I open that early, but nobody ever takes me up on it. But I try to let people beat the heat. Dawn to about 5, 6 o'clock. I like to shut down and have some family time. So
I mean, it gives a whole new meaning to the early bird gets the worm,
Yes.
because they use the blueberries. And
That's
so, you talked about, raising some blackberries, but why did you guys get involved? Do you have a farming background, or why do you do this?
My husband comes from 2 different families of farming, and both of them are tobacco farmers. And one side of the family is still in tobacco, and the other one, not so much. But it's just, I guess it's in his blood. Yeah.
And so this is a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work to keep birds out of the berries and kind of keep everything. And it looks beautiful out there. So I know that you spend a lot of time in the orchard. Why do you do this?
Well, mainly to support my husband. We started doing this, and it was his idea, and it seemed like a really great idea. We knew the berries wouldn't come in until I was off from work for the summers, and again, teachers don't really get off for the summers. We still do. I don't want to say that, because we do a lot of planting still. But I could be here and be available to people to pick, and the kids were really open to it and loved it, and we thought that would be a good thing for them to be involved with, and them get into just the farming and know what hard work is really all about.
But now you guys have the you pick and the we pick, but you also have plants for
Yes.
sale as well, right?
Yes, we do. And we usually try to push that mainly in the spring, because that's the best time to plant, or in the fall we'll do another big push. But we don't push it too much during the hot season, because it's too hard for the plants. But there will be people that will come out here and they'll buy them, but we'll tell them to keep it in the pots and keep them watered until it's a better time to plant those.
Tell us about Berrylicious Pops.
Berrylicious Pops kind of came from just a need to use some of my berries. I would have some left over at the end of the year, and my infant at the time, 3 years ago, was Grace, and she would eat them frozen. Loved to eat the berries frozen, and I'd put them in the little popsicle mold for her, and I thought that would be a great idea. So I started researching different recipes for popsicles, and I've kind of tweaked some of these recipes, and I got this blueberry lemonade, and last year it was a big hit, a huge hit. I had an order for 1,000 popsicles after somebody at this business they said there were 5 people eating off the same popsicle. So I'm like, so then I get an order of 1,000. I'm like, the email came across to me from my husband, 1,000. I'm like, oh, surely he means 100. But no, I was like, you mean 100, right? He goes, no, 1,000. I'm like, oh. So that last year spawned to our own cart this year, and I have different flavors, and now we're at the Soki Marketplace. We're going to be at the Square in Franklin for the concert on the Square. So we're trying to, I would think, ease into it, but it doesn't seem like we're easing at all.
Yeah, 3,000 berry plants, 1,000 popsicles. I mean, there's a kind of a theme here. Hey there, thanks for joining us right here in the KYF2 kitchen. Joining us is Larissa Adams, the popsicle blueberry expert, sharing with us your recipe, Holy Cow Blueberry Muffins. Is that right?
Yes, thanks for having me.
Okay, so this recipe is something that you've been making for a while,
Yes.
and I cannot wait to get my fingers on one of those warm muffins. Let's get started. What are we doing?
I am going to mix the dry ingredients first.
Okay.
And then I've got dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. And then I'm going to dump the blueberries in it. And then we'll make a streusel topping to make it crunchy and sugary and good on top.
Okay, is your mouth watering yet? Because I know mine is. Okay, here we go. Let's get started.
I have 1.5 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of sugar is the dry ingredients. Then I'm going to have 2 teaspoons of, baking powder and a half teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put all of these things together first and mix them really well.
Just combining all of those dry ingredients together first.
And after that's done, you can just start putting in the wet ingredients. A cup of milk, put 3/4 cup first. And I just want to see how wet it is. I might have to add some later. So I'm going to do that a little at a time.
So starting with a little bit is always better than, just dumping the whole thing in there. So you put in what, 3/4, kind of combining those ingredients together, and then you can tell if you need more, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And a 1/3 cup of oil.
Okay.
I use vegetable oil.
Okay. So I love the name Holy Cow Blueberry Muffins. How in the world did you come up with that name?
I've tried all kinds of different recipes over the years because I have plenty of blueberries that I can try to see which ones I like the best, and I love the streusel topping. I love that crunch and that sweetness that you get when you first tap into it or bite into it. And so because I had 2 different recipes that I tried, and there's this cake that's called Holy Cow cake. So I
Kind
cheated.
of a play on words, isn't it?
Yes. I cheated and I borrowed, begged, stealed, and borrowed, one of those kind of things.
You've added 1 egg to
did.
your dry ingredients.
Yes.
Do you have a preference in flour? Like, as far as do you use a cake flour, an all-purpose flour?
All purpose.
All purpose, okay.
Yes. So now I have that. I'm going to add a cup of fresh blueberries from Berrylicious Orchard. Now, during the winter, I will thaw them first before I put them in there. And I'll thaw them to half thaw, because when you put them in a thick batter like that, if they're all the way thawed because they're wet, and it'll just smash the berries all together. So, I'm just going to put half the pint for right now. Oh,
This
those
is
look
the
so
good stuff. Talk about a love story right here. You've got
Yes.
this deliciousness going on. So
Yummy. Look at that.
delicious.
I like those colors together. It's like a lemon yellow and that blueberry
Well, and
blue.
the texture that it gives, so pretty.
All right. Now I'm just going to spoon this batter into the muffin cups.
So we've got the oven preheated at
400.
400 degrees.
Yes.
And you're just going to spoon these
Yes.
in. This little muffin tin is a square one, but I'm sure you could do mini muffins or jumbo
Yes.
muffins, whatever you kind of have on hand.
Yes. And just fill them about halfway full.
Okay.
Now next is the streusel topping. That's probably my favorite part. I like that crunchy, buttery,
Yeah, just
sugary
when you think,
topping.
holy cow, these muffins are going to be good.
Yes.
We're not stopping.
A half cup of sugar and some cinnamon, just a pinch of cinnamon.
Okay, you mix those together
Mix
already.
those 2 together. And then I take a 1/4 cup of cold butter that's just been cubed up and mix that in there as well.
Now, does the streusel, does that go on before you bake it, or should we go ahead and put these in?
No, it goes on before you bake it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just use my fingers and just start distributing and put it on top. Make sure every one of them gets some butter and some of the dry part of the mix. And this part gets kind of messy, but again, that's the best part I like. Although biting into those hot, fresh blueberries certainly is good too.
Well, you know what they say, the messiest kitchens are always the tastiest ones.
Okay.
So
I'll remember that next time.
I think that we are definitely living that statement today.
Yes.
It looks so delicious. Yum.
There you
Okay, so 400 degrees for about
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Holy cow, Larissa, we have blueberry muffins and they look so delicious. You know what? And this recipe is pretty simple.
Yes.
It wasn't too hard, and I've already taken a bite, and they are so moist and delicious. this is a great way to use your Berrylicious Orchard berries. Make sure that you go by Larissa's farm and pick up some. Let them know that we sent you. If you try this recipe, we want to hear about it too. So comment below and let us know. We would love to see your photos and all of that sort of thing. So thanks so much for joining us this month. I hope that you all have enjoyed spending as much time as I have with you.
It has been fun.
I feel like I'm part of the family.
Oh,
now.
absolutely.